Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I'm recording a video to talk about sexual assault. I know that there's millions of people that get sexually assaulted every year, and the majority of people do not come forward or talk about it. Most people want to just forget that it ever happened to them, and so a lot of people just go on about their life and they never get healing or they never acknowledge what happened to them. And so today I'm making a video about 3 ways to not get over it, but more to accept what happened to you and to move forward with your life. Um, the first the first step would be to acknowledge that this has happened to you, that someone, whoever it was, sexually assaulted you, and that, like acknowledge that this act happened to you and that the pain that you feel is there and is real and that it's nothing to be ashamed of because this happens to a lot of people and it's not like you could have stopped it. Most of the time people feel guilty or ashamed because they feel like they could have prevented it or that they could have stopped it from happening. And most of the time you couldn't have. So the first thing would be to recognize that someone has done this to you and that it's not your fault and that you shouldn't feel shame or embarrassment and that you should acknowledge that the pain that you feel is real and that you should feel it, not try to bury it inside you or pretend like it didn't happen to you. But it happened, you feel the pain, cry it out, be angry, be upset, and then go on to number two. And number two is to accept it, to accept that someone whose heart was not good, whose heart was not pure, that they let their evilness or their demons control them to do such a hideous act towards you, and that it's not your fault, that what they did had nothing to do with you, that this was more about control than uh, anything sexual. Because most people think that when people sexually assault them, that it was sexual, when most of the time it's more about control because a person is trying to take something that they know that they cannot have. And so by taking that, they feel empowered in a way because now they got what they wanted. So by accepting that this happened to you, then you will understand that it was about them and not about you. That is nothing wrong with you. That that is not your fault that it happened to you. That um that you didn't cause this to happen. You didn't do anything wrong. That this is all on them, not on you, all on them. And once you accept that, then you can move forward because then you won't blame yourself anymore. Then you won't feel ashamed about it anymore. You won't feel embarrassed or dirty or unhappy. Like you will still have feelings towards it, but when you accept it, you won't, like 100% of the burden won't be on you anymore. And once you accept it, Then you could go on to step number three. And step number three is forgiveness. Now, this is a big one because most people feel like, why do I have to forgive the person when they did something bad to me? And the thing is, the forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for yourself. Because once you're able to forgive them, then you kind of forgive yourself too. Because as a sexual assault victim, you you don't really forgive yourself. Like, you're so caught up in feeling guilty and feeling like you're at fault, that it's you that caused it to happen, that you kind of neglect yourself. And once you forgive them, then it's easier for you to forgive yourself. So you're not forgiving them, you're forgiving yourself. You're forgiving yourself for embarrassment. You're forgiving yourself for feeling shameful. You're forgiving yourself for um, hiding what happened to you. You're forgiving yourself for not not getting help, not going to the police and reporting the incident. Um, you're forgiving yourself for any negative thing that you feel about yourself. So it's not so much of you forgiving them, you're forgiving yourself and you're forgiving people around you. So that's why forgiveness is very important, because if you don't forgive yourself, then no one will forgive you. Like, it has to start with you first. So if you want to be forgiven by people around you that may feel hurt that you never told them, or for forgiving yourself for protecting your abuser, because that's pretty much what we do. We protect our abuser without realizing we're protecting them. By not getting help, by not going to the police, by not trying to cause any harm to anyone, we're in a way protecting them. And so when you accept what has happened to you and you're able to forgive, and you're able to live with yourself, because the forgiveness is not for them. You can forgive by forgiving them, you're like saying, okay, I forgive this person for hurting me. But that doesn't mean that you have to go back to them. That doesn't mean you have to be friendly with them. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them again. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means deep inside you forgive them for hurting you. And you forgive yourself for hurting yourself. Because by not telling or by not doing anything, by pretending that it didn't happen, you're hurting yourself each and every day, because it never goes away. And so when you're able to really say to yourself, I forgive them, then you release yourself from that burden, from carrying any type of guilt or shame or anger or being upset about it anymore, because you're releasing yourself. You're forgiving yourself. You're forgiving them. You're forgiving everybody that's around you. So the three ways to move forward from abuse are acknowledgement. This has happened to you. You feel pain. You feel hurt. You feel sadness. You acknowledge this. Number two, you accept it. This has happened to me. I don't know why, but it has. This person has done this to me. I don't know why, but it has. But they have done this to me. And I am not ashamed of it anymore, because this was not my fault. I did not do anything wrong. I did not cause this. And number three, forgiveness. I forgive you because you were a victim. You were innocent in this situation. So I forgive myself. I forgive you. You, the person that was victimized. You forgive you. Then you can forgive your abuser. Abuser, I forgive you. I don't know what pain you was in. I don't know how you was brought up. I don't know your hardships or anything that you've been through life that would lead you to commit such a hideous crime against another human being. I do not know, but I release myself from carrying this pain and this burden and this guiltiness that you have put on me. I release myself. And if I want to release myself, then I have to forgive you. So I forgive you for abusing me. I forgive you for assaulting me. I forgive you and I release you. By doing that, you release them, but you also release yourself. And then you can move forward or start the baby steps to moving forward. Now, forgiveness might take months, even years to do. So it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. Acknowledgement can happen anytime that you want it to happen. Acceptance takes time because some people cannot just think, oh, I accept this and this happened to me. No, sometimes it takes a process to get to acceptance, to understand that this happened to me and it's not my fault. It takes time. So it happens. Sorry for the noise in the background. But acceptance takes time. Forgiveness takes time. Acknowledgement can happen at any moment. Once you acknowledge it, then you can move on to acceptance. But you have to see and feel what has happened first. And then you can accept it or go on the path of accepting it. And then you can forgive. But it all goes in the order and it all takes different amounts of time. It does not come quick. You cannot get sexually assaulted one day and then the next day say, okay, all is forgiven. It doesn't happen like that. Everyone has their own time and their own pace, and you don't have to rush it. You don't have to move forward fast or on someone else's time. It's all on you. When do you want to do it? When do you want to acknowledge? When do you want to accept? And when do you want to forgive? But know that you have to start the healing process before you can forgive. You have to start healing. And all of these steps get you to healing. Because if you don't heal, then the pain will just keep living inside you and keep growing until it's uncontrollable. And so you want to start healing as soon as possible for your own sake. So, again, 1, acknowledgement. 2, acceptance. 3, forgiveness. Thank you for watching. My name is Stephanie. Bye.